Tyson, just looking at this roster, it looks like you've got a pretty good mix of people coming back and some newcomers too. Is that kind of by design?
Well, I think every year we try to have a good core of kids coming back, and this year we've been lucky. I mean, we kind of have a veteran group, and that's nice. You kind of everywhere you look, we have a lot of sophomores, and I don't think that's been necessarily a point of emphasis. Is you try to get the best players you can. It just so happens that this year it works out that we have so many guys that are either second year, third year guys. With COVID and all that stuff, we had some kids that opted to come back, which we love our guys. So we love when they choose to be here. But yeah, very, very sophomore-laden group. But our freshmen also are a very talented and capable group also. So it's going to be a fun spring for sure.
At what point in the season do you kind of look at your team and go, okay, here's what we got, here's what we're made of? And will that change this year now that you've got a bunch of folks coming back?
I think there's some knowns. Having Matt Getzman back, obviously an All-American a year ago, first-team All-American. That's a huge get for us to come back at semester. Jackson Meyer behind the plate, but a lot of other guys as well. Zach Johnson, Eric Anderson, James Valdivia, Jet Jaco. The couple transfers that we have in guys like Cade Argo, Freddie Kozel, Tyler Monroe, Tyler Priest, people like that have come in here and they're hungry to play and they love this program. They love the opportunities they get here. And so we'll take a look at things as we go, kind of the first 12 games before conference gets going. We want to give some kids some chances to play. And it's not that they'll never get chances after that. It's just, as you know, people earn things in this program. They always have had to. And so finding that out and finding out who can help us in right situations, we'll be able to mix and match a lot, especially on the mound with a lot of the talented arms we have. So we're definitely excited for this spring.
Tell me about your pitching. You guys always come with a bunch of arms, a bunch of good arms, and Parker Thomas, of course, is he your headliner? Just a little bit about your pitching.
Well, Parker's definitely a bright spot for us. There's a lot of them. Seth Claiborne, he's got a chance to be a big asset to us, as does Ryan Courtney, who committed to West Texas A&M just a few days ago. Alex Wise going to Tennessee Wesleyan, obviously our number one guy on the mound. But there's a lot of talented kids in there. A lot of newcomers on that pitching staff. Braden Curtis, Will Volanek, guys like that are stepping right in as freshmen and going to be heavily counted on. Cole and Nate Whitehill being back for us this year. Simon Gradeville pitching a lot of innings out of the bullpen, doing really well for us. So, and there's a lot more. I mean, there's probably 15, 16 guys that are capable. Maverick Wilder being healthy this year, that's a nice change for us, as he had Tommy John repair last year. Mason Weber, Ben's little brother, as a true freshman, going to be counted on as well. So very, very excited for our pitching staff and very hungry to watch them grow.
You guys are really good at roster management, especially with pitching. Will you kind of do the same thing this year? Give guys a couple innings here, a couple there as you ease into the season?
I think so. Dion does a really good job with that. I'm glad you said we're really good at that, because Dion does that stuff, not me. So, it's been good that way. He does a really good job with that early. We definitely want our guys throwing their best in April and May as we head toward, the regional and sub-region, things like that. We definitely want our guys healthy. We want them moving forward and feeling like they have their best days ahead of them, because there is life after this program. So working them into the season and getting their arm in shape over the course of it, that's why you have so many guys. That's why you go out and find so many guys to come in here and pitch, and Dion does a great job of managing that.
Let's talk about your offense. Last year, man, the home runs just kind of came in bunches. Well, that's a good thing. Is that kind of the way you want it? Of course, you'll take it, but are you going to kind of change maybe what you're looking for this year?
I don't know if I would say we're going to change. I don't. Everybody likes to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and that's an exciting part of baseball. Everybody understands that. The one thing I will tell you, and it's no secret, that we need to do is cut down on the number of strikeouts. We punched out way too much last year, in critical times, or understanding that you can't just look to elevate a ball in, every count you get. So I think our guys this year have done a great job of that so far. We inter-squatted the other day on Saturday. It was a beautiful day at the park. The hitters were locked in, and our pitching staff, as I said, is very capable. But I would definitely say our hitters won the day, and not something Dion probably wants me to announce. But at the same time, I think that's a good thing, because I can promise you when it happens again, they'll be a lot sharper. They'll be more focused, and they'll know that they have to get stuff down, especially against our lineup. So I'm very much looking forward to the offensive production. I don't expect a lot of changes.
Let's talk about your defense. Is it fair to say last year your infield defense maybe not what you guys are looking for? How do you go about maybe fixing that, or is that an assessment that's really not on target?
Well, I loved our kids last year just like I do every year. And, so it's really hard to nitpick, because when you have guys like Matt Keating, first team All-American now at USC, when you have guys like Nolan Brown, who's back again this year at shortstop for us, and you have Jackson Walls, who transferred from Johnson County and played his heart out for you. Ryan David obviously being back at first base. Jackson Meyer back behind the plate. Getty back in center field. But we did lose a few guys. AJ Garcia, that's a big loss in the offensive category. But, the defensive side of the baseball going into the regional tournament last year out in Colorado Springs, I would say, as you said, was a concern. How are we going to play defense? And then we got there, and it wasn't our defense that ended up being our demise. We didn't hit enough, as I said. We kind of punched out too much at that time of the year and didn't get the job done. And so we fell a little short. And so I think the overall goal this year is to just be playing our best baseball. And I really like this team defensively, and that could change. Maybe I'll like them a lot more offensively, but I doubt it. They show up to work every day. They're hungry to get better. They're excited about being at the yard. And today in January, January 31st, it is my mom's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to her. But it is a beautiful day today, and this is unbelievable weather for January.
Looking at your schedule, it looks similar in the fact that you're not around in February. You guys are out on the road the entire month. Your first home game isn't until I think March 2nd or something like that, but still a good way to get the season started. Looks like a lot of games in February.
Yeah, we're going to open with Hutch and down in the Jayhawk League, and that's going to be a challenge. They're always a team at the top of the Jayhawk West, it seems like, and every year they look up, and you look up, and there they are. And so it's going to be a really, really good test for us. They have some Nebraska kids that they come in here and they recruit to, and so I'm sure that's going to be kind of a little bit of a battle just back and forth, because we have a lot of kids that know a lot of their kids and things like that. So Coach Schmidt and his staff do a great job down there, and we're eager for the opportunity. We've never played them in the regular season, so I think it's going to be a good test for us, obviously. And then we after that, we'll have Garden City for a 4-gamer, and Coach Finnegan, again, another guy that does a great job there, been there a long time, seems to have a great feel for what he wants to do with his program, and so another good challenge. Last year they took 3 games, and we only got 1 down there, so we know that's also going to be a challenge. Then we head to Millington, Tennessee, to go play at USA Stadium against 4 quality teams down there: Lincoln Trail, Iowa Central, Southeastern Iowa, and there's one more, I can't remember who it is right now off the top of my head, but that's all before conference gets started at home, as you said. So looking forward to the early part of our season for sure.
So last season didn't finish maybe the way you liked. How excited are you guys and this team really to kind of get things rolling this year?
Oh, I think every year kids are excited. Opening day, it doesn't matter who you are. There's teams already going. There's teams that start at the end of January, and fortunately, here we've been able to get outside, which has been great. So as I told our kids, it doesn't matter if we could or we couldn't. There's no excuses when you step on the field and everything's for real. But I think the way that last year ended, it was tough for our kids, but hopefully that motivates them. I know it does for me, and I give credit to our league. From when we got into it to where it is now, I really, the coaching staff in the league and staffs in the league have done a good job of, pushing our league forward and moving players on, and the baseball's getting better, and that's what's important to us as the baseball gets better in our conference. We think we have a good conference. We think it's getting stronger by the day, but at the same time, we're very eager to take it on.
Anything you might want to add as you head into this season?
I'm just I'm thankful to still be here. I will tell you that one of the best things that I feel like has happened this year is, we do have 40 kids on our roster, a little over 40. But the way that these kids go about it, I can show up on a daily basis, and you can walk into our indoor. We had a friend of mine, former MILB guy, that showed up, and he walked into our indoor facility, and I hadn't set foot in there yet for the day because I was showing him around our campus, our field, things like that. And he was asking questions. We walk into our indoor, and the first thing he says is, "How long has it been like this, where your kids are just working like crazy and you don't have to say a word, and you walk in, your culture's insane?" And so, I think it starts with that, and that's all, that's Deion's work through the years, through 10 years of, putting this together, having a vision, driving the bus, and I think that is something that I'm, so happy and excited to be a part of every day, and we love it here. So.